Welcome everybody. It's my name's Dominic Sutton. I'm from StockTrim, and I've got Mady.mitchell here with me from Linworks SkuVault. Say hello, Mady.
Hi, how are we?
We are going to just quickly run through some of the ins and outs of inventory planning and demand forecasting and how that fits in with what StockTrim does, and also how it integrates with SkuVault. Now, what I'm going to quickly do is just do a quick overview of what StockTrim is and does, and then Mady will do a quick overview of what SkuVault does, and then we will dive a little bit deeper into how it can help our customers. StockTrim is a inventory forecasting and demand planning software. It attaches to your system of record and reads that information and projects that in order to give you an idea of how you should purchase your stock to have a fully optimized inventory. So what it requires is you to have a well set up, preferably cloud-based inventory management system, and that's where something like SkuVault comes in. But just to give you a quick overview of how StockTrim fits in the ecosystem, some people are confused about this. We basically cater to companies in the 1 to 20 million turnover area, round up to about 20,000-30,000 SKUs. We can go higher, but that's sort of where it gets a bit too heavy for us. We basically, most of our customers are coming out of spreadsheets. They're dropping their data from the inventory system of record, the inventory management system, into the inventory management system, into say CSV files or Excel files, and they're applying formulas in order to produce purchase orders. So what basically happens as time goes on is that the company is struggling to build up systems, and things are starting to go haywire. Personally, I had a situation like this with my business, and that's why we built StockTrim. So eventually they outgrow this, and they need something that's a little bit more automated and integrates nicely with their system of record. So just quickly, I'll pass over to Mady, who will talk a little bit about how SkuVault fits into this.
Yeah, thanks, Dominic. The SkuVault product is the particular one that we're talking about today that actually integrates with StockTrim. It is a subset of underneath of our Linworks product. So Linworks and SkuVault is the company as a whole, just to understand that portion of it. But what we are is connected commerce. So we're going to connect everything that you have in your system, StockTrim, your marketplaces, and bring all of them in and being able to control the inventory and everything within our system to be able to do it. So we're going to help eliminate a bunch of the different orders, different levels pushing up, the inventory pushing up, making sure everything is syncing at one time. So you have that one holistic view and that true source of inventory within the product set, along with a lot of the other features of being able to track your inventory, your serializations, batches, kitting, lotting, if you have serialized products, or if you have lots of kits and bundles, that's also something that we can help track, and making sure that you're selling everything together. So basically we want to automate all of that for you, and then helping them with that pick and pack process at the end.
So what are the problems that we're dealing with here? So, I mean, to boil it down to a very basic level, is like, it's just about getting the right product at the right place in the right time. In the right quantity. So a lot of businesses, as I mentioned earlier, I've had a problem like this with a toy business I had. We just had no visibility around our inventory. We did have a system of record, but it was pretty archaic. And the business, just when we were coming to order from China, it was a toy importing business. We were just running spreadsheets. It's basically guesswork and spreadsheets and assumptions. So as a result of that, we ended up like a list here. It's like just not enough of some types, too much of others, wrong sizes, wrong colors, all these sort of things. If we had this kind of visibility that something like StockTrim and SkuVault connected can deliver, they would have saved myself a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of heartache, to be honest. So the automation actually helps to drive a number of really key business outcomes. We use a machine learning algorithm that looks, as I mentioned, looks at what's happening in your system of record, like SkuVault, analyzes it and projects it. So what are the outcomes that this kind of analysis delivers? It's around about a 20 to 40% increase in working capital. That's money that you haven't got tied up in your inventory. You can deploy that cash somewhere else, but it also helps to reduce wastage and just builds a more efficient business. Halving of stockouts. If you have a stockout, you're trying to sell a product that you don't have. This is a customer service issue, but it also, if you're running a plant or you're building something, assembling something, it halts production if you don't have the right materials on hand. And the third key one is the administration and planning workload that's reduced because of the automation, because of the smart algorithms. It really helps somebody who, say, an inventory planner or whoever it is in the business, that plans the inventory, helps to speed that up. Doesn't always have all the answers. Sometimes a person has to look over it, but it does help to create conversations. And if as businesses get to trust it, and as StockTrim learns the behavior of that inventory, it becomes more reliable because it's got a little bit more time behind it to look at all the behaviors, and customers really start to trust that output. That's 3 key outcomes that StockTrim delivers, and Mady will just talk a little bit further about that with Linnworks.
Yeah, with Linnworks and SkuVault, some of the things that we're trying to solve here is inaccurate data. As Dominic had said, not knowing how much you have of something can lead to overstocks, can lead to underselling of a product, can lead to overselling of a product. So we're going to make sure that all that data is properly synced back and forth to prevent the overselling, the underselling, all that kind of stuff all together. So that data that they're learning from with StockTrim is correct. So they know what you're selling, how much you're selling, to basically be able to come in and really learn from that, to be able to properly forecast your product that you need to order. And then some of the manual tasks of updating it, going back and making sure the number's right. So if you order something and something's placed off your website, off of a Shopify or BigCommerce website, the order comes in, it also goes back and updates the numbers off of Walmart, Amazon, and any other of the selling channels that you may have. So automating those workflows, as well as the pick, pack, and ship features that we have. We're definitely going to help with that organized in the warehouse. We call it the zombie walk. Well, I think it's over here. Last time I checked, it was over here, and you're walking around just kind of staring into the abyss. We're going to help with that and being able to make sure that you're not just walking around and finding whatever you can find at the given time. And that leads to the wrong product, because you may say, oh, this looks about right. Well, with our quality control product, the portion, you can go through and you can scan that item, scan that the barcode to make sure, okay, well, at the end of my zombie walk, I did pick the right one, or it's going to tell you exactly where to go get it. You went and got it, then you picked the right one because you quality controlled it, scanned the products. That comes down to the sizes, all that stuff. And again, that leads to the overselling because you sold the wrong product, you sent the wrong product. Everything's going to be updated even if you send the wrong product out. And then making sure that you're meeting that demand, that forecast, the learning of the different products that you're selling. We keep track of every click and everything within our system. So a product like StockTrim can learn from that and learn from the clicks, the data that we have in there. They can pull it out and accurately forecast what you need each season, if your seasonality, or if you may need something quicker than, it comes up and it sells faster in May. Different things like that. You need to make sure that you have that. It's going to be able to meet that demand.
That's awesome.
And then moving on. Yeah, go ahead.
I hadn't heard the zombie walk expression before. I'm going to have to use that.
Yeah, it's one of the fastest things people say. Like their pick time speeds up because they're able to use our warehouse functionality and really be able to say it's located in row 1, shelf 4, bin 3. So they can know exactly where it is, pick it, and they're a lot faster, and it speeds up how many orders they can actually get out the door in a day.
Great.
Yeah. So moving on to that connected commerce, letting it sit there, we're going to be able to extend that inventory management and really be able to help control, get your different marketplaces out there, be able to help with the listings portions with both of our different products that we have here, automate some of that order management type stuff that goes on, making sure that you're fulfilling from the right warehouse, different things like that, and then making sure that you're connecting to the different places that you need to connect to. Our platforms do connect to over 100 different platforms and marketplaces. So now that you got the inventory under control with both of our products, you got to be able to put it out to more places. So that's what that's for, is being able to really send that information out and do all that stuff with that ecosystem. And then the reporting portion of it, well, being able to pull it in, being able to track every single little bit that's clicked within our warehouse, where the transfers are, where you're selling the most out of, all the different things, and even going through to helping organize that warehouse just a little bit more, so that you are being more efficient within that packing and picking functionality.
Right, awesome.
Yeah.
So just to explain how we sort of fit on this call, like with SkuVault Core by Linnworks and StockTrim. I just did this little chart here. It's sort of best way to describe the app ecosystem is to split it into hindsight, insight, and foresight. So hindsight is like looking at your accounting system software most of our customers will have, shows you sort of what's happened in your business in the past. And it's a great way of evaluating how your year's gone and doing your taxes and things like that. You need that. So, and then comes along with product businesses, the insights. How can you evaluate exactly what you've got on the ground, where it is, and those sort of key elements, as Maddie's just pointed out. So, as I've shown here, we've got a StockTrim. We integrate with a number of market-leading software in the SMB space, and we try to integrate with those that align with our core customers. So, and then there's obviously StockTrim. We sort of throw ourselves into the foresight area. So what we're doing is we're trying to predict what your inventories will be in the future based on your behaviors. You can manipulate this, of course. So let's say if you've got a massive sale or that you didn't have the year before, you can go in and manipulate that data a little bit. So, hey, we've got this massive sale, or vice versa. If there's some sort of disruption to your supply chain, tariffs, for example, you can go in and say, hey, look, there's going to be some issues here with this supplier. What are some alternatives? What's the lead times for that? What materials come from that supplier versus what we could source, say, just down the road locally, just to avoid that situation. So that happens with port strikes, all sorts of other things, geopolitical events and things like that. So StockTrim helps to take the heavy lifting out of that sort of thing. And the best thing is we're a seamless add-on. So basically what that means is we're an add-on tool. We click on literally to an inventory, a system of record like SkuVault, and we can be set up literally in as fast as 30, 40 minutes, depending on how much data load you've got there. And it's plug and play. And as we point out to our prospective customers, we offer a 2-week free trial on that as well, which means that there's really no risk getting set up and getting some technically free analysis of your inventory. These are my contact details. We do have a little offer for viewers. It's a 10% off your first year's subscription and no setup charges if you subscribe them May 31st. Maddie, do you want to just quickly mention your one, which is very similar?
Yeah, so we're running something very similar. As long as you get in touch with me, mady.mitchell@linworks.com. It is a special discount of 10% off all new customers as long as you book that demo by the May 31st, by the end of the month. And if you have questions, feel free to ask them. As Dominic said, getting up and running, it's a 4 to 6 week process depending on how much data you have with the SkuVault product as well. Getting up and running and then plugging in that StockTrim, it's going to give you that full view of what your inventory is, where it is, and how much to kind of order, especially with the day and age that we're in, with the lovely economy that we have coming up in front of us. The two systems together are going to be great for that SMB kind of market to really be able to move forward quickly and be able to expand their business without things missing out of it.
Right. Yeah, it's very important for our customer bases, which are both in the small, medium-sized business area, for them to have confidence in being able to scale. It's as a small business owner myself in the past, small businesses, it's very, very important to build systems that you're confident in scaling on. Otherwise, you start literally running in circles. And like Maddie mentioned, that zombie walk can be particularly painful. And so these kind of systems can really help you scale and get out of the small business area into the mid-size and then large business area, as most business owners want to do. So thank you very much for coming, and we look forward to receiving your inquiry and taking up that 10% offer. Please contact us. Thanks very much.
Thanks.